Yes. Does Medicare pay for long-term care?
Medicare is an extremely limited payer for long-term care. In fact, in the 2005 Deficit Reduction Act, it was enacted in 2006, it changed the rules. It changed the way that Medicare and Medicaid would interact and pay for these services.
Before we go to the differences between Medicare and Medicaid, which I again think is really important, would you explain what long-term care is?
Long-term care is typically something that happens to someone who has been declared by a doctor to need assisted living, such as assisted daily living. They need bathing, they need to be fed, they can't really walk or travel, they're not as mobile. So at that point, the doctor certifies them as needing long-term care. Now, sometimes young people need that because they're in a coma or they're disabled or they're blind. But typically, older people, when they get to a certain age, require 24/7 care. And let me tell you, the caregiver is under more stress than the recipient, your mom or your dad. Many people think they can take care of their parents, but at some point they realize it begins to pull them down too.
It's terribly difficult.
And to maintain a job. There's just,
even if you don't have to maintain a job, this is a terribly stressful and emotional situation for family members. To bring that to the bottom line, though, so you're really saying that somebody who needs long-term care is somebody who can't take care of their activities of daily living, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And could that be on a temporary basis and people will end up in the hospital?
That's a great question, Mary. Most of the seniors who go into long-term care facilities do so with the full intent to return home. Any senior you ask, by far, would say, if you could ask them where they want to be, they're just going to say, I want to be at home.
Absolutely. And we have to remember to talk about that as we get further into your presentation, because Texas, as you know, has a very strong homestead position. And if, in fact, the senior that you're talking about or the person that you're talking about is in a nursing home or in a facility for long-term care, they can still claim their home as homestead. And that gives them a lot of exemptions. And I know you're going to talk about that
with
later.
the intent to return.
Exactly,
Correct, Bob.
exactly.